This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV on the phone live from Quebec City. I've got promoter Eddie Hearn. Alright Ed, what's happening?
What's happening, Coog?
What's happened out there?
You needed to be here for this one.
I know, it sounded like it. I haven't seen it yet.
100,000 views. Yeah, it was lively. When we walked into the press conference, Stevenson and he's got, like, you know, as you can imagine, entourage. Even his entourage have got an entourage.
Yeah.
And we walked in and the shoulder barges were flying around like straight off the bat. It was a bit weird. And then there's been a lot. So I don't know if you know about Stevenson's past, but you know, listen, a past is a past, but he's got a past, and it's all been in the local papers this week out here about his past. And there were quite a few scousers here as well who just thought it was right to remind him about that as well.
Yeah.
So when he got onto the stage, he'd already lost his rag, and then he weighed in. He walked over to Tony, and they stuck the nut on each other, and then it went off basically. Security on security, and then eventually Stevenson was dragged off the stage, dragged out of the room, whilst he was still trying to get back onto the stage. It was mad. And you'll see it on Sky Sports by the time this interview goes out. It'll probably already be up, but it was lively. It definitely rattled Stevenson, and I know that fights aren't won at a press conference, but you know, I think it was a good sign.
Where were you in the middle of all this carnage?
Well, I was trying two things. I was trying to keep Tony away, and then trying to just calm everything down. So I was pretty much in the middle. You'll see me flapping about at some point, and put my arm out to one security guard with a Don Stevenson, who's about 7'4" and 46 stone, and he nearly snapped my arm in two. But it was just trying to keep Tony out of the way, because obviously he was rattled and ready to go as well. So that was lively. Probably the liveliest weighing I've been to. In terms of, it was right up there.
I saw some bits on ringside yesterday from the press conference, and it looked like Stevenson was trying to sort of go Tony in the head-to-head bit at the press conference as well. You know, was that the case there as well?
Yeah, I think so a little bit. I think Tony's. It's difficult when you're up against such a good talker to get the better of head-to-heads, and I mean, you look, you know, even with Carl and George. In the build-up, George is such a good talker that it was difficult for Carl to engage, and it was like that at the press conference. You know, Stevenson was going, "I'm Superman," and Tony was going, "I don't think so." He said, "You got knocked out by Darnell Boone. You had a life and death with Don George." Yeah, but I've got the belts. I'm the champ. And Tony was just going through a rant, and he lost his rag a little bit there, Stevenson, as well. But like I said, this week there's been all stuff in the press about Stevenson's past, and there's no way it kind of rattled him. I'm not saying that that's going to make a huge difference in the past, but he doesn't seem to be in a stable place right now. But you know, listen, we all know what a tough fight is against Stevenson, because he can whack, and he's very, very good.
Is there a question whether Stevenson somewhat is underestimating Tony Bellew in this fight?
Yeah, I think what people don't understand is he fought. You know, we were mandatory for the WBC. They wanted to have a voluntary against Tavoris Cloud. We accepted that on the basis of that the winner must fight Tony Bellew within 90 days. And straight after that Cloud fight, Stevenson gave an interview at the press conference and in the ring and said, "I'm having a rest now, really tired, and I'll be back in March." And then obviously we turned the screw, and the rules are the rules, and the agreement's the agreement. So this is the third fight Stevenson's had in 6 months, so 3 camps in probably 9 months. He didn't want this fight. He wanted to have a rest and box in March, but he couldn't do it without vacating the title. So again, all these little things, it doesn't always make a difference in the fight, but you have to pay attention to them, and you have to think that I think he had 9 weeks from the Cloud fight till Saturday. And he went to Vegas straight after the fight to party. Then he went to Florida to party. So he probably had 7 weeks in camp. And it's there's a lot of positives to draw. But let's be honest, they all mean absolutely diddly shit when you get in a ring and start cracking into each other with 10-ounce gloves. So I don't know if all these things are going to play a part in the fight. But Tony's in a great place, very confident. And I think being away from home and away from the limelight has hotel. He couldn't have done any more. And if he doesn't win on Saturday night, it's not because of any other reason other than that he wasn't good enough. So this is, we've called this fight from the start of the camp the life changer, and that's what it is for Tony. We've got no options on this fight. We're a mandatory challenger. He beats Adonis Stevenson, and he's absolutely cracked it.
So out there, what's the perception out there? Is it that of Tony Bellew, like the
He's
Canadians?
Massive underdog.
Yeah.
I think people know he's a decent fighter, but quite unknown. He's caused a real stir this week. He was brilliant in the press conference. Obviously, the weigh-in was double lively today. So, he's caused a big stir out here. The perception is it should be a routine defence for Stevenson, and he'll go on to fight Kovalev. But speak to people in boxing, obviously people who know Tony, and they give him a real chance in the fight. I think it is a 50-50 fight. He's the underdog, but I do think that Stevenson is overrated somewhat. He may be as highly rated for a reason, but I don't necessarily think through what he's done he should be regarded as he is. But we'll find out Saturday.
How bad did they mug you off with your name tag at the presser?
Eddie Hearns. It was great. I tweeted him straight away.
All right. Well, listen. Obviously, where's Tony now? Then is he just?
Tony's just gone for a bite to eat. I'm going to go and meet up with him now, and just stay calm. Don't. One thing that they did in the Chilemba fight, which was the wrong thing to do, was just at the press conference, at the weigh-in, everything, just lose your rag all the time. In the change room before the fight, walking out, he was so hyped, he was so pumped. Just relax, let Adonis burn his energy, and you stay chilled and go in and execute a game plan. And I'd be so chuffed for him. I know he can do it, I really do. And I hope everyone gets behind him at home. A little rant on Twitter yesterday, but people I just don't understand what it is with this country. It's like they want to slag people who are just trying to achieve their dream. It doesn't matter whether you like Tony Bellew or not.
No.
One thing you don't do is you don't tweet him saying you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
What's that all about? What sort of country do we live in that people don't want to get behind their own? Reading about like Frotch has been getting stick, Howard Foster's been getting death threats. The whole thing's it's been a mad week to say the least. But hopefully Tony can cap it all off with a great win.
Definitely. Right, listen, we'll obviously try and bother him tonight, but if you can get him on the way back or something on Sunday after the fight or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely good there. Have you made Frotch Groves 2 yet? Have you done that?
Apparently I should have made it on Sunday, straight after the fight.
Well, it's been a week now. Have you not done it?
I know. These things take time. It's not just a case of, yes, I'll have the fight, just book it. Deals have to be done. Things have to be discussed. Listen, it would be mad of me as a promoter and a fan not to try and find a way to make the Groves Frotch rematch, and of course that's high on my agenda. I'll meet with George next week, and I'll chat to Carl in a couple of weeks. I'm seeing HBO out here, and they've got to focus on Ward and Chavez and Golovkin for Carl, and he wants to be in the big fights, but the backlash has been of some proportion that it's difficult for Carl not to take the rematch.
But surely that's the best money option for him as well, Eddie. The rematch with Groves.
Not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily. If you have a dual pay-per-view, HBO and Sky, whether that's Chavez, Frotch, whether that's Golovkin, Frotch, there's huge money in all the fights. But I can understand from Carl's position as well. He wants to have those big fights. He badly wants to rematch Ward. But the one that the British public want to see is George Groves against Carl Frotch too. Yeah. So I just want to let the dust settle. I don't think anyone can make sane decisions now because emotions are still running high. I still find it difficult to believe Frotch getting stick. And people say it's because of what he said after the fight. It wasn't. He was booed before he even opened his mouth. But also when you're making comments after George has had a fantastic response from fans. People have been just smashing my Twitter up with abuse, and telling me to make the fight. So I know the demand's there, and as I've said, fights are made through demand, and the demand from the broadcasters and from the fans in the UK will be huge for this rematch. So, of course, it's going to be explored. I hope we get there. I think it's good for British boxing, and over the next couple of weeks.
Just rate me the chances of you thinking it happened next between 1 and 10. 10 being it happening and 1 being not happening.
8 at the moment.
That's good. Okay.
Something like that. I do think it'll happen, but I just think everybody's got to calm down. At the moment, everyone's backs up.
Everyone's still going ballistic over it. They are, yeah, you're right.
It's still my fault. It's still my fault, apparently. But I just think once everyone's calmed down and everyone can make rational decisions. George Groves has got no decision to make other than what kind of split he wants. And that's something that could jeopardise the fight. But everyone's just got to be rational, relax, calm down. Let's all have a chat, and let's do what people want, and let's make a fight that people would love to see.
Ed, are you going to try and re-sign George?
Again, I'm not. I said after the fight, I'd love George to be a part of the Matchroom stable, and this is very true. I think he's a brilliant talent, and the reason that I didn't sign him before the last fight is he had a load of stuff going on with Adam Booth, and I'm not the kind of promoter that's going to say you have to take this, you have to sign with us, otherwise. I could have asked him to sign a contract before that last fight on the condition of getting this fight, but it's not. That's not how we work. If he wants to be part of the team, he'll be welcome with open arms. But my priority at the moment is not necessarily signing George Groves. My priority is trying to make the rematch. So, I want George Groves to be a matchroom fighter. I want him to remain a Sky Sports fighter. He's got a great future as a box office fighter. So I'm sure that's the platform he'd want to be. It's the most lucrative platform and position for any UK fighter. So, and he's hugely popular now. The main stumbling block really will be the split. If I'm honest, because it's everyone's going to see the worth and value in the fight. Some will be perceived to be more than what they actually might be, and some might be less. And just until we sit down with everyone and see what the perception is on what the fight is worth value-wise to them, we could be miles off. When you talk about an 8 out of 10, it could be 2. I could have a conversation and someone walks in and says, I think I should be on this much. I might as well forget it. But if everyone's rational and no one's greedy, I think we can get there. And I think it'll be something bigger than anyone's ever seen in this country. We've had some of the biggest stadiums in the country already phone me up, asking to hold this rematch. And I think you're talking, 40s, 50s, 60,000s back to the days of Ben Eubank too. I think this could eclipse everything. And as a promoter, to be able to be involved with something like that, and financially as well. Listen, I'm not. That's why everyone's in it. All the fighters are in it for the money. Of course they want belts and they want a legacy, but the bottom line is they want the fights that are going to bring the most revenue to the table. And as a promoter, it's no different. There's no point in me lying to you saying, "Oh yeah, I'd like to do this one because it's a beautiful fight." It's not. Where's the dough? Everyone wants the dough. And I think this fight done right is a huge fight financially for everybody. So, it's going to be my focus, and hopefully we can get there.
All right, then. Well, all right. Well, listen. Thanks for phoning.
You have a great weekend, Turncoat.
What are you on about, Turncoat? Weirdo.
What?
What are you on about, Turncoat? You didn't fucking take me with you nowhere. So listen.
I saw some great footage of that geezer falling through the banner today. That was good.
That was quite funny. Well, no, listen. We're doing our thing here. But listen, best of luck to you out there. And
don't worry, we'll be out in Stuttgart next week. Let's fingers crossed, everyone. Tony Bell, you can do the business.
Definitely.
The WBC light heavyweight champion in the world.
All right, Eddie, and thanks for talking to IFL TV.
Right,
and speak to you soon. Thank you very much.